Hey there, word aficionados. Welcome to another dazzling episode of The English Nut. One of the words we're jamming on today is staccato. And another one is a word that's as fun to say as it is to experience, flabbergasted. And there's a third word as well, conscientious. So do be conscientious about watching this video till the end and subscribing to The English Nut on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook and X. Thank you. This is a favorite word of three of my viewers, Jayarajan KV, Praveen Kangtekar Suryavanshi and I Love Varanasi. Flabbergasted. The word is as fun to say as it is to experience. Flabbergasted. It's a word that encapsulates that jaw-dropping, eye-popping feeling of astonishment. It means overwhelmed with shock, surprise or wonder, dumbfounded. I'm flabbergasted that so many people like this word. The term may have come from a dialect spoken in Suffolk, a county in England. It possibly originates from two fantastic Old English words, flabby and aghast. When you're flabbergasted, you're so surprised that you're practically gasping for air. So how does one use this fabulously expressive word? Allow me to illustrate. I was flabbergasted when I discovered my dog could actually fetch the newspaper. She was flabbergasted to find out she'd won the lottery. You should have seen his flabbergasted expression when his startup got its first $1 million investment. The audience was completely flabbergasted by the magician's final act. Flabbergasted by these examples? Just kidding. Now let's bring in some quotes about people who are flabbergasted. Catherine McCormack, the English actress who appeared in Braveheart, said, "I happen to have worked with male directors who don't understand women at all. Not at all. I'm flabbergasted by their ignorance." American author and musician Anthony Murray said, "The awe-inspiring beauty of nature is nothing more than being flabbergasted by our ignorance of it." Pulitzer Prize-winning American journalist Anna Quindlen wrote, "The world is full of women blindsided by the unceasing demands of motherhood, still flabbergasted by how a job can be terrific and torturous, involving and utterly tedious all at the same time." Children's author Catherine Patterson wrote, "In Stories of My Life, Wynne was flabbergasted when he heard me say to the dog, 'We don't put our paws on the table while folks are eating, Manch.'" So the next time you're absolutely knocked off your feet with amazement, remember you're not just surprised or astonished, you're flabbergasted. This is a favorite word of my viewer Shaborni Dotto 2596, conscientious. Someone who is conscientious takes great care to do their work or duty thoroughly and well. They apply themselves meticulously to the work at hand, doing things painstakingly. They tend to have a strict regard for what is morally right, and they follow their conscience. A conscientious person would ensure that if someone were watching what they were doing, they would approve. If you are conscientious, you are upright, honest, just, and scrupulous. A conscientious father, he gave his children the best education he could afford. She was a conscientious doctor, staying back at the hospital to look after her patients even after her duty hours were over. The conscientious journalist gave equal importance to both sides of the story. If the HR head had been conscientious about his work, he could have prevented the loss of so many good employees. A conscientious objector is a person who refuses to perform military service because their conscience or beliefs do not permit it. Muhammad Ali was one of the most famous conscientious objectors. During the Vietnam War, the world heavyweight champion was ordered to join the US Army. He refused, citing his religious and political beliefs. He had to pay a heavy price for his defiance. He was stripped of his title, his passport was confiscated, and he was widely condemned. But he fought a legal battle and eventually the US Supreme Court ruled in his favor. There were many young people in the US who did not believe in the Vietnam War, and Muhammad Ali stood up for all of them. Conscientious objectors are sometimes called conscies, usually in a derogatory sense. Here are some of the quotes containing the word conscientious. John F. Kennedy, the 35th US President, said, "War will exist until that distant day when the conscientious objector enjoys the same reputation and prestige that the warrior does today." Martin Luther King Jr., the leader of the American Civil Rights Movement, said, "Nothing in all the world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity." American author Robert Greene wrote, "If a person is successful, we imagine they are probably also ethical, conscientious, and deserving of their good fortune. This obscures the fact that many people who get ahead have done so by doing less than moral actions, which they cleverly disguise from view." Well, I certainly know a few people like that. This is a favorite word of my viewer 1980 Aravind. Staccato. The word originates from Italian, yes, just like the word pasta, and it literally means detached. In musical lingo, staccato refers to a style where each note is sharply detached from the others. In other words, the notes are short and separate from each other when played. Listen to this. In a sentence, staccato is an adjective or adverb that describes something happening in quick, abrupt bursts, like his staccato footsteps echoed down the hallway, or she spoke in a staccato manner, every word a dagger. Sounds quite dramatic, doesn't it? Here is one more example. The rain played a staccato rhythm on the window pane, keeping me awake late into the night. And now for some quotes. This is from J.B. Priestley's charming fantasy novel, The 31st of June. He talked in a quick staccato manner, so eager to have his say that he often interrupted himself. Did you notice anything unusual about the title of the book, The 31st of June? It's a date that doesn't exist. Tobias Danzig, a mathematician admired by Einstein, wrote, "The harmony of the universe knows only one musical form, the legato, while the symphony of numbers knows only its opposite, the staccato. All attempts to reconcile this discrepancy are based on the hope that an accelerated staccato may appear to our senses as legato." As is clear from the quote, legato is the opposite of staccato. It means smooth and connected, especially in music. As a youngster, I used to love reading the books of Gerald Durrell. He wrote about animals a lot. This quote is from him. "I have heard the hoarse street vendor cries of the mating fur seals as they sang to their sleek golden wives, the crisp staccato admonishment of the rattlesnake, the cobweb squeak of the bat, and the belling roar of the red deer knee-deep in purple heather." So the next time you're at a musical or simply admiring the staccato rhythms of life around you, remember each note adds its unique sound to the greater melody of existence. That's it for this episode. Flabbergasted, conscientious, and staccato were the three words cooking in the linguistic pot today. Keep the words rolling, folks. Until the next time, I'm the English Nut. Bye for now.